Hey, what's going on, everybody? Wow. It has been a while. Pardon me. Let me just quickly make a little Instagram post just so people know that we're live. One second. Boom. Dunskies. Let me just grab a candle. How you been, buddy? What's been happening? Get the candle going. Little candle just to get the mood right. Gardening sounds like a lot of fun. I hate gardening. Honestly hate gardening. I don't know why, I just don't enjoy it. Oh, what's been happening? It's been so long. My desk has got dust all over it. But here we are, hey? Gonna do a little mini ITX small form factor build for something different. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, fighter. I didn't realize you were such a gardener. Ugh, didn't realize that was a thing. Apologies as well with the stream tonight if we drop frames. I've got a bit of a weird networking issue at the moment. Seems to be okay at the moment, but it could get weird at some point. We'll see how we go. Pardon me. Happy Friday, everybody. What else has been happening? Lots of gardening, lots of weeding, planted some rosemary. Do you use like rosemary in cooking? Is that why you planted rosemary? Or you just like it because it smells nice? I think the bees love rosemary too, right? But yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday to ya. I wonder if we're going to get any more people jumping in. Let's see if we can get some more people. We are live, we're posting. Well, whippy wop, eh? It's been a while, my man. What have you been doing? How's things? Yeah, roasts. Yeah, it's good for roasts. 100%. What do they call it? You rip off a sprig of rosemary. Hey, been whippy wop. Oh, mate, it's been so long since I've streamed. It's been a minute. Yeah, I know. I've been so busy with work, guys. Like, my full-time job now, like before I wasn't a manager, now I'm actually like an IT manager, which is awesome. But the downside is that I have a lot less time to do streams, make videos, and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably why you're not seeing me online as much, you know. But listen, I'm not mad. I love doing the streams. The streams are like what I kind of enjoy the most, I think. Oh, you got a job. Hey, congrats. Whereabouts are you working? Whereabouts are you applying yourself? Kmart, Macca's, Woolies? What are you doing? What's the job? Where are you working? Where can I come and visit and walking into your shop and ask and demand for a refund and be a total Karen? Toy Mate, a toy store. That sounds fun. Honestly, that sounds fun. Nothing wrong with that. Is it easy, or is it just like another like it gets boring after a while? Like, is it kids' toys, not really adults' toys, right? Just a toy store. And how much do you get paid an hour? Is it like 14 bucks an hour, 15, 12, 18, 21? I don't know. I feel like you're like still like 16 or something, right? So I don't know if you're like on the adult minimum wage or if you're on like some other minimum wage. None of my business, by the way. Yeah, I think I'll leave the light off. Getting shifts walking around the center. Oh, like it's in a shopping center, is it? That makes it interesting. Well, should we get on with this build? Because I don't know how long it's going to take, honestly. It could take an hour. It could take 2. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, 19 bucks an hour is pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, after like a week, you'll have a couple hundo, I hope. Got to start somewhere. 19 is pretty good though. My first job, back when I was 16 years old, I was getting paid $7.50 an hour. And I was handling like hot baked potatoes out of an oven, which I'm not even sure if like a 16-year-old should be like, you know, working with like, I don't know, dangerous hot ovens. And man, my hands, I can't even feel like certain temperatures now because my hands are basically like used to like those really hot temperatures from back when I was really young. So like I would take the potato out of the oven, I'd slice it down the middle, slice it across, make it into like 4 little quarters, fluff up the potato, put in the gravy. That was what I used to do for my first job back when I was a youngster. Yeah, but when you're young though and you've got the money, mate, just spend it, honestly. Just spend it. Who cares? You gotta spend it on something. God, I can't believe how dirty this desk is. Like I haven't streamed in so long. Yeah, hot potatoes, baked potatoes. And I was growing up in Tasmania, right? So in Tasmania, it was really cold, and so people were always coming in for like hot potatoes. And then normally at the end of the shift anyway, I would get potatoes to take home and I could have them for dinner and give them to my family and take them, you know, give them to the brothers and stuff. It was all right. It wasn't bad. Getting paid, free food. Yeah, I can handle that. So dirty, this desk. Hang on one second. I'm gonna give it like a little dust. So bad. You can't really see it, but it's there. Anyway, let's get this build up and running. So, cleaning stream, I know, right? So the build that we're doing tonight is a small form factor ITX PC. I've kind of always wanted to do one of these and I just haven't gotten around to it because I've always been focusing on like $1,000 or whatever. But I think the total cost for this entire build, I'm pretty sure it was like $1,300. And it's a pretty decent little PC. I'm not sure if I'm gonna sell it or if I'm gonna like keep it in the lounge room or something like that. So this one has got a AM5. It's an AM5 platform, by the way. So AM5 8500G, so 6 cores, 12 threads, onboard graphics, comes with a cooler, even though we've got a different cooler. The graphics card is the Intel B580, which is an awesome graphic card, 12 gigs of VRAM, beats the 4060 100%. Motherboard's from Gigabyte. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth on board. It's a Gigabyte A620 IAX. A Team Group MP33 1TB SSD. We've got 6,000 mega transfers or 6,000 megahertz RAM from Kingston, so 16 gigs. The case is from Deepcool, the CH160. Power supply is an SFX. I could have gone cheaper, but I got an SFX fully modular 650 watt power supply from Silverstone, 80 plus gold. And then the cooler, we've got the AK400 Zero Dark CPU cooler, which includes and also we've got 220mm fans as well that we're going to add as RGB. It's a zero RGB build, but we are going to add 2 RGB fans if you want to have something like maybe like a white ring around the RGB on like the front and the back of the case. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. So anyway, let me get the bits and we shall get started. And apologies if the stream's being a bit weird. No worries, Whippy. Enjoy your dinner, mate. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'll post a short and I'll do a dedicated video probably as well in the next week or so. So let's get started. So I think we'll probably start with the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and SSD. And then we'll do the case and we'll get it mounted, power supply, all that kind of stuff. So let's get this rude boy going. So this is the, where are we? This is the motherboard. My stream's being a bit wiggy at the moment. Let me just go ahead and do a quick little refresh. See if it works. Give it a minute. All right, I think we're back. So this is the motherboard, Gigabyte A620i AX. So it's a little mini ITX motherboard, got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all built in. It's also got front panel USB-C, rear USB-C, rear USB 3.2. So that's what we're using. And I think this board costs us around 200 bucks, something like that. Give me 1 second. Just got a text from a mate. He's saying that him and his boy are watching on their couch, I think at home or something. So, g'day Corey, how you doing, mate? So let's get this board out, get the CPU. Hopefully this doesn't take too long and hopefully I don't fuck it up. Not sure if I can say that, but I just did. So this is the board. It's a cute little thing, right? Cute little motherboard. There's your I/O on the back. So we've got DisplayPort, HDMI, 2 USB 2.0. So we use that for like a keyboard mouse. USB 3 port, another USB 2. I think that one is white because you can do BIOS flashing through that port. USB-C, you've got your clear CMOS button, another USB 3 port, Gen 2. Gigabit, sorry, not gigabit, 2.5 gigabit, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, Wi-Fi with Bluetooth, like I said, and obviously you got your audio as well, but not a bad little board. And you've also got here an M.2 slot, your GPU slot, 2 DIMMs, your CPU socket, SATA ports, you know, it's got everything that you can possibly want for a motherboard that, you know, is not gonna have a crazy powerful CPU, but it could definitely handle it. So like, you could start with the basic CPU and then upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, and this board will absolutely work, no problem. It's got 2 SATA ports. 2 SATA ports, a USB 3.2 header, a USB 3.2 Gen 2, so USB-C header. It's got your, it's got 1, 2, 3 fan headers, couple ARGB headers as well. So yeah, pretty tiny little motherboard. Like, here's a can of Coke, can of beer, for reference. Like, it is not very big. Let's grab the CPU. So the CPU that we're using It is the Ryzen 5 8500G. So 6 cores, 12 threads, boosts up to 5 gigahertz. Comes with a CPU cooler in the box, not too expensive. I think this is the cheapest AM5 CPU that you can currently get that supports DDR5. And you know, you might use this for a while and then you might want to, you know, upgrade and get something faster down the road. So I think again, this CPU is great bang for buck, especially if you're just like getting into gaming. You don't really need a crazy fast CPU. If you're obviously doing other things, then maybe you want to invest a little bit more. But you know, for most people, 6 cores, 12 threads for like 1080p or 1440p gaming, you're going to be absolutely fine. Like your biggest, you know, the biggest factor when it comes to gaming and getting like good FPS is your graphics card, not necessarily your CPU. Super tiny. So like I said, it comes with a cooler, which I'll get it out of the box just to show you guys. And it comes with thermal paste on there already. That's the cooler. Does the job, but we're not going to be using it. So it's nice that it includes a cooler, but we're going to be using something with just a little bit more grunt and a little bit quieter, to be honest. Yeah, I know, right? Alrighty, so here's our CPU. Hopefully you guys can see that. So Ryzen 5 8500G. Not a bad CPU for the money. So 6 cores, 12 threads. Pull back that lever. Maybe I'll just move this a little bit closer. What I'll do as well is I'll put it on the box to get it a little bit closer to the camera maybe. So let's go ahead and do that. Do that. How does that look? It's a little bit better. So yeah, pull that lever backwards. Go ahead and pull the cover up. Don't take off the plastic cover yet, and you'll see why. Get your CPU facing up with the text. Little gold triangle in the corner. There's a little triangle here on the socket as well. That's probably hard to see. But basically just go ahead and line it up and drop it in very carefully. You don't need to put too much force. Just give it a little wiggle just to make sure it's all in the right spot. Put that little cover back down. Push this lever forwards, and then what will happen is that plastic bit should just pop off like so. So now the CPU is secured, and that plastic bit, you want to keep that just in case you have to send the motherboard back for warranty or you want to sell it. You can put something over the pins inside the socket to protect it. So yeah, there we go. CPU is installed. So now what we'll do is we'll put in the SSD. So I might need to go and get a pair of scissors so I can cut this out. So give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. Cool. So this is the SSD, E100 1TB from Crucial. It's a Gen 4 drive. I think I've got a blur on, which is probably why it's a bit hard to see. So Gen 4, E100 1TB. I think this is about 70 bucks and, you know, does the job. Alrighty, SSD's out. There we are. And what we probably need to locate is the little screw to secure the SSD. So inside the box is normally, if we pull this backwards, you've got your accessories. We've got the SATA cable, we've got the front panel cable, got the Wi-Fi antennas. There should be a little tiny screw, like you can see here. There's a tiny little screw, and that one there is to secure the SSD. So we'll leave the rest of it out though. Oh, hope you guys have all had a pretty good week. I have finished a massive project with my with the company I worked for. I'm still working for the company. I just finished this huge project, and I feel so relieved that everything is now done. And it's been like a project that's taken about 5 months to to get done, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So, alrighty, so there's our SSD. Popping in an SSD is pretty simple on these motherboards. You just go ahead and line up the two little, there's like a little, like the teeth, you want to call it. There's like a little notch. Just line it up down the bottom, insert it on like a 45-degree angle. So it kind of sits up like that, and then just push down, and then you're going to secure it with that screw going into that spot just there. So we'll grab our trusty screwdriver. We'll just change the tip of the screwdriver. Boom, boom, put in the screw. There we go. So that's now CPU and RAM installed. So now, actually what we'll do before we put in the RAM, we'll do the CPU cooler. And the reason why is because it might be easier to put the cooler on without the RAM getting in the way and interfering. So this is the RAM, Kingston Fury RAM. But let's put on the cooler first, and then we'll do the RAM afterwards. So for the cooler, this is what we're using. The AK400 Zero Dark from Deepcool just has a single 120mm fan. Simple, I think it's 6 heat pipes air cooler, nothing too crazy, which will definitely cool the CPU whilst also not being super loud. And I think this cooler was like $45 or something like that, like not that expensive. I'll confirm the prices at the end, but I think this will look really sleek. So let's just pull this out. Move all the rubbish. I've got a whole table of rubbish off to the side. This is the cooler. And you can see it comes with thermal paste pre-applied on the bottom, so you don't want to touch that right now. There's nothing covering it, there's no plastic. That's the cooler. Pretty sleek, pretty, you know, very minimal. No RGB, just a black performance PWM fan. And then you've got your heat pipes, so 1, 2, 3, so 4 heat pipes. But again, like I said, it doesn't cost much. It's black, it fits in the build, and it will look really, really tidy. So in terms of mounting, I believe we need to change and remove the brackets here, these little retention brackets on the actual socket, and replace it with a different one. So let me just consult the manual real quick. 1 second. AMD, 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 Intel, where are we? Yeah, so on the manual here, it's basically like remove the two little, I guess, retention arms, if you want to call it that. No, that's not probably right. I can't remember the name for these things. These little brackets, you want to remove these little black brackets on either side of the socket. Once you remove those, you want to put these little 4 mounts in, which come in the bag. Once you've done that, you put on this plate. Then you hold down the plate with the screws. Then you put the cooler on, the cooler screws into the bracket. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Hey, awesome dude. How you doing, awesome dude? It's been a while. Yeah. Ah, dear. But these ITX PCs are like super popular at the moment. I don't feel like I've done an ITX PC build in a long time. I used to have an ITX PC a long time, and it was like super hard to keep the CPU cool because back then the CPUs were just like not that efficient, you know. So things have changed quite a bit since then. Things are a lot more efficient than what they were. I'm doing very good, mate. I was just saying that I just finished a huge phone project. So at my work, at my actual job, which was very, very satisfying to get that done and finally be able to like move on and do something different. So these little orange mounts sit on top of where that bracket was before. And then what we do with this, just to confirm the orientation, so we're going to have the cooler go like that. So we're going to put this on like so. Okay, cool. And then these will go in. We're going to put that bracket on first. Nope, that's the right way. Always when you're screwing things in that are in like a square or a hexagon or a circle, try and do it like opposite corner, opposite corner, opposite corner. Just means you get like even pressure when you're putting everything in. And then we'll go around and we'll just do a little tighten up just to make sure it's as, don't have to go crazy with it. Cool, so that's our little bracket on top of the CPU socket. And now we can actually put the cooler on. So we'll take off the fan, just because I always find it easier without the fan. Make sure we get the Deep Cool logo the right way. So that little logo up there is the Deep Cool. So let's just spin it around. So the D, and then I think that's like the C. Pretty sure that's how the logo works. Their logo is a bit funny nowadays. Yeah, that's the orientation. So we'll go ahead and we'll mount this on now. So just got to line it up somewhat in line with those screws. Something like that. And then we'll do a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. That's one side, we'll do the other. Alrighty. Cooler is mounted. Not too difficult, just take your time. Go all the way down until you can't go any further. Because the more pressure that you have, I mean, don't go crazy, but the more pressure you have, the better contact with the top of the CPU, the IHS, and then you get better cooling performance. So now what we'll do is we'll attach the fan, and then we'll put the RAM in. See, if I had the RAM in, I probably would have been fine, but just not doing the RAM yet just gives you a little bit more, a little bit more clearance. Something that I always do as well, I know it's just like a little thing, but like these little white tags that they have on the end of the cables, I always just cut them off because I just feel like it's just tacky just leaving, like why do I need to have it? Like why is this on there? So just go ahead and snip it off. I feel like people who leave those tags on, oh my God, they probably leave the plastic on top of their couch or on top of their bed. Don't cut the wire. What do you mean? Isn't cutting the wire part of the installation process? Can you imagine if I did cut the wire on stream? That'd be pretty funny. We'd be fine. I've got plenty more fans. Alrighty, so we'll now put the fan on. We'll go ahead and connect it to the CPU fan header. I love building PCs, guys. Honestly, I would do this for a full-time job, but unfortunately it doesn't pay enough money It's all right when you're just like living at home and you don't have to pay crazy rent and stuff like that, but building PCs for a living, yeah, it doesn't pay a lot of money. If it did, a lot more people would be doing it, trust me. Alrighty, so there's our cooler with our fan mounted. It's a little bit of a big boy, isn't it? But you know, it's gonna look really sick once we get it all put in to the system. Cool beans. So now let's go ahead and do the Ramity Rams. Where's my little knife? Cute little thing. I just realized what I should be doing as well. After every time I put in a part, have a sip. Take a break. Don't rush it, you know? I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but this stubby cooler is from Darwin when I went to a crocodile park and I got to experience, you know, seeing crocodiles jump out and eat chickens and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the trip, end of the tour, I had a crocodile burger. So I saw crocodiles and then ate crocodiles. I'm the alpha. Nah, not truly. They are impressive and scary. I mean, like, I think being eaten by a croc and dying that way is probably the worst way to go. Terrifying. And yes, drink breaks are important. Don't want to get dehydrated. So this is the RAM we're using. Kingston Fury Beast. Nothing crazy, DDR5. It is 6,000 mega transfers or megahertz, whatever you want to call it. Only 16 gigs. We didn't get 32 because it's, again, just for like 1080p, 1440p. And we went with something that's 0 RGB because it just sort of matches like the whole aesthetic of this build. Like the only thing I would have loved is maybe like a heat spreader to go across this SSD to make it black as well. But yeah, very tight little package. Laughing as I said that. So RAM's done, SSD's done, CPU's done, cooler's done. So I think now we are ready to get the case and put it in the case. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and tidy up our workstation so we don't lose any of the bits. It's always important. So we'll put all the old CPU stuff for the cooler in the bag. These little brackets for the fan. You can add a second fan to this cooler, by the way, if you wish. Pop that all in there. And yes, I did eat a croc. I had a crocodile burger with sweet chili sauce and it was delicious. It was very, very good. It's kind of spicy. Alrighty, I think we're ready for case time. Let's do the case, shall we? Oh, knocked the desk. So this is the case we're using. It is the CH CH160. It's probably not going to focus because it's trying to blur everything, but the CH160 from Deepcool, yeah, it's kind of trying to find a face. CH160, little ITX mini PC case. Maybe I'll use this camera instead. There we go. CH160 mini ITX case from Deepcool, $69 with USB-C. So honestly, I don't think you can get a better value case for the money. It's got a handle on top, it's got a piece of glass on the side so you can see everything. It fits a full-size power supply plus a SFX power supply, full-size graphic cards, full-size CPU coolers. Like, you can put a 240mm rad in the top, you can put 120mm fans at either end if you want to have a front and back fan config, like an intake and exhaust, which is exactly what we'll be doing. Hey Skythe, how you doing, Skythe? So yeah, this is the build. Great little case for like 70 bucks. Oh my god, there's a little handle so you can just like pull it out of the case. That is too good. So we'll put that box down over there. Oh, wow, it is so cute and compact. Wow, so small. There we are. This is a little bag with all the screws, so we'll keep that for a second. So yeah, this is it, I guess. How do I get this in frame? 1 second. Let me just make this camera a bit higher. Maybe something like that. Point it down like that, and that way you can see it in all its beauty. So you've got USB-C, headphone, microphone combo jack, 2 USB 3s. You've got your power reset button as well. You've got tempered glass, a couple feet to keep it all, you know, clear from the ground. Essentially, I mean, you don't want to have it on carpet, but it gives it a bit of clearance so the GPU can suck up some air through the bottom. You've got your carry handle, look at that, for your LAN parties. You can put in, like I said, 2 120mm fans on the top. You can also put in a 120mm fan as an intake here, and then a 120mm fan as an exhaust here. So the idea is you're going to suck in cool air from the front, it's going to go through the CPU cooler, and then the exhaust is going to assist with, you know, exhausting all the hot air. We're not going to be putting in, you know, any sort of fans or any sort of cooling along the top because we've got that air cooler, and then the SFX power supply will just sit in the corner there. So that's it. And then in terms of the back of the case, you've got your, you know, your triple slot GPU I/O, the rear I/O for the GPU. Then you've got obviously your GPU, sorry, your motherboard I/O on the back here as well. On the bottom of the case, you've got, like I said, 4 feet, tons of ventilation. You know, pretty much this whole thing is ventilation. Even on the rear, you've got more ventilation here as well. And I think there's a filter in there as well, so you can take this panel off and clean the filters if you need to. So yeah, very exciting. What I've not done with this case is read the manual on how to actually go ahead and mount everything. Like, I've got a bit of an idea, but I'm just going to quickly read the manual because we're putting in a SFX power supply, and I think from memory, when I had a look online, there's a little bit of a different mounting, there's like a little mounting bracket that you need to install first. So let's go ahead and flick through the pages. So removing the side panel. Okay, what do we need to do first? It says there's a little screw here that we need to remove. So how about we start by doing that? one there, and then it just slides off. Okay, let's give that a shot. So what they're saying is basically on the back here, this little screw comes out. Put that aside, and then this should just basically slide off. Oh, there's one down the bottom as well. So in the manual, they actually only say one screw, but there's clearly two. Alrighty, so now we've got our glass panel off. We'll go ahead and put that aside so it doesn't get broken. And then we'll do the same on the rear panel as well. Secret screw. Exactly, they were being tricky. See, when they first made this case, they might have just made it with one screw, and then they did a revision and they added a second screw, but they didn't update the manual, you know, that happens quite a bit. Alrighty, so we've got both now. Huge cutout for the back of the motherboard. Then we've got, you know, the panel off, so and then we've got all these cables in here for the front I/O. So let's go ahead now, do that, remove the back, remove the top panel. So top panel is what, 4 screws? Wow, 2 on either side. So let's just get, I always find like getting all the panels off makes working inside of a computer and putting everything in just a little bit easier. Oh my God, line up, please. And normally with like small form factor builds, they do take a bit more time because you got to just make sure you do everything step by step. If you get too if you go too quick and you cut corners or you cut the steps, then sometimes you have to go back and like remove things to put something in. Alrighty, so that's what now, the top panel. So this should just pop off. There we go, just like a pot with a lid. And then installing the motherboard. Okay. Motherboard goes in, GPU goes in, a bracket, hard drive, SSD, fan. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to put in, I'm going to do the bracket first for the power supply. Give me a second to find that little, there's a okay, so in this little bag, there's a little bracket, and these brackets can help you with adapting. Oh, it says here 1 of 3 brackets. I'm confused. Okay, just bear with me for a second. Oh, there's 1 bracket there, it looks like. Okay, maybe I'll grab the power supply quickly and we'll do that part. Fan goes there. Okay. A little bit confusing. Okay, maybe we'll grab the power supply quickly because I feel like this is going to be the trickiest step. The power supply. Give me 1 minute. Maybe we'll grab one of the fans as well. So this is the power supply we're using. It is the SFX SX 650 watt gold power supply from Silverstone. So super efficient, fully modular, and that means it's a small little power supply and we only need to run 3 cables, 1 for the GPU, 1 for the CPU, 1 for the motherboard. So all the other cables are just there if you've got like peripherals or extra things you need to plug in. So let's just get this power supply out. Oh my God, it's so cute and tiny. Oh my God, what a little nugget. Let me just put this to the side for a second. Look how small this power supply is. Like, it is legit just so small. I've never actually used an SFX power supply before. I've seen them online, I've seen people do them, and I know it's a whole thing, and yeah, I've just never done it. So super cool, 650 watts. So that sits there. I think it's got a 92 millimeter fan, or maybe an 80 millimeter fan. And then in terms of cables, obviously you've got your power cord. What else do we have in here? All the other modular cables. So the cables as well, I did do a little bit of research. I chose this one because the cables are very flat and very, very thin, if you can see that. So it's much easier to like bend it and fold it and get it in the exact spot that it needs to go in. So that's why we chose this power supply. GPU, CPU, motherboard. So we only need those cables. I can't remember if the graphic card is a dual 8-pin or a dual 6-pin or a single 6-pin. Can't remember. So we'll put all the manuals and everything back in the box. And let's get this power supply mounted. So in terms of the mounting, so this is another interesting thing with this case, right? Is that you put, so this is the front of the case, this is the back of the case where my left hand is. So front hand, right hand is the front of the case. The power supply goes here. How do you get your power cord from the back all the way through? So they actually give you this little like extension cable kind of thing. So basically this will go into the power supply and sit there, and then this cable runs through the back in this little notch, and then you have this guy poking at the back, which is where you plug in your power cord. So, you know, possibly some people might argue not the most elegant solution, but hey, without spending like 300 bucks on a case, B580 8-pin, yeah, you would know. Yeah, without spending more money on a case to accommodate the power supply going at the back, you know, but then you've got compromises elsewhere. There's probably other things that you need to factor in. So, okay, so let's go ahead and do this power supply. So what they're saying is you got to mount it like so, but I'm kind of confused. So SFX like that. These brackets, I think, need to move. But then that doesn't make any sense. Or does it go this way? I think it goes this way. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but that's how the power supply goes in on that angle like that. That makes sense. Okay, so only 3 screws though, which, you know, makes me a little bit nervous. But 3 screws, if that's what they say is enough, that's what they say is enough. So let's go ahead and put that in and do that part now. Dun, 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 dun. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, while I build this PC. Like I said, this is something that I really enjoy doing in my spare time, so, you know, would like to try and share some of my knowledge at the same time. Come along the journey with me, as they say. So 1 screws in, and then we'll do the next one. And then we'll do 1 more. Cool. Power supply is now done. This little cable for the power supply will do at the end. And now we'll do the fan, because again, I'm trying to figure out how that works. So this is the fan that we're going to be putting. We've got two of them. So the Air Blazer 120, again, from Silverstone, has some RGB, which you can obviously turn on or off, depending on what you want. We're going to slap one at the front as an intake, and we're going to have one at the back as an exhaust. So, and hopefully these fans, because I've, again, not used these before, have like a daisy chain connection for the RGB. Otherwise, I might be a bit stuffed. Come out, what are you doing stubby for? Jeez. It's like not wanting to come out of this box for some reason. There we go. Just putting up a fight for no reason. Making my life hard. Ugh! Now, I did say before, every time we put in a PC part, we have a little drinks break. Alrighty. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm sweating right now. It is a little bit nervous building a PC, knowing that someone that you've actually sold a computer to is watching you. A little bit weird, a little bit strange. Hey Corey, how's the PC going, by the way? Still going good? I'm sure it is. You'd let me know, right? If there's an issue, just feel free to text me. But hopefully it's been rock solid. Hectic. Love it. Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Alrighty, so let's get this fan mounted. How the hell does this go on? I think I've stuffed up something. Or does it just sit like that? That can't be right. Maybe it is right. Pardon me. Gotta look at the little diagram again. Oh, you know what I did as well? I mounted the power supply backwards because it should be pulling in air from the rear panel. So let me just fix that. What's everyone up to tomorrow on the weekend? Got plans? Doing anything? Going anywhere? I think I'm going to go for a very big walk tomorrow, providing it's not raining. But even if it is raining, stuff it. Just gonna pack the brolly. Heading to Melbourne next week. What for? For work or? How long are you down in Melbourne for? Oh damn, I'm sorry to hear that. That It's the worst reason to travel, I'm sorry, but yeah, my condolences, mate. Alrighty. Whew, I'm sweating it up. How does this bracket go in? Maybe they're saying literally it only uses two screws. Maybe that's what the deal is. Multi-function stand. Am I missing a bracket? Surely not. It says in the manual, right? Like, just to show you guys what I'm sort of struggling with right now, is that in the manual, right, it says, you can see that there's a multi-function bracket. And the only bracket that I got is this tiny little thing, which looks nothing like this multi-function bracket that they're talking about. It's like a weird little off piece. But then in the case, there is a bracket that looks like that piece of that illustration, but it's already inside of the case. So I don't quite understand. Do you know what I mean? Let me just check the box in case I missed it. No, I didn't think I missed it. Did I put it to the side somewhere? It's quite possible, but I don't think so. Nope. Scratching my head. Unless it's only meant to have literally just two screws. That's my only theory, is that it just sits in like that. I've got an idea. Small form factor, hey? No one said it was gonna be easy. I've just dropped a screw on the ground. God damn. I'm sure it will show up in a minute, but the show must go on. There it is. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's literally just 2 screws, which I've never done before. Make sure I get on the right side. We'll just get the build done, and then maybe what we'll do is we'll go back maybe tomorrow and have a look at the little manual. But the manual's a bit vague, so we just got to figure it out, hey? I mean, 2 is honestly probably fine, but it just makes me paranoid. Because like, okay, so as you can see, we've got our fan installed, and it's just kind of like sitting there, and I haven't even put the screws in to hold the bracket in. That's the wrong hole, Sean. The wrong hole. We've all been there, right? Ugh. Alrighty, what we'll do now as well is we'll do our power supply cables. I always find, like, I know it's tempting to like jump straight in and do the graphic card and get the motherboard in, all that kind of stuff, but you do the painful bits, the annoying bits, like the graphic card now, sorry, the cabling now, and you'll have a lot less issues when you go to, like, you know, finally get it ready to like turn on. Cabling is like one of those things that you have to do, and if you're going to do it, well, you might as well just do it well once and not have to go back and do it again and again. I mean, my cabling is nothing crazy, but I'm just saying, like, when you're building a computer, don't rush it. Do your cabling, and you'll find that you'll probably have a lot less issues. And to be fair, what I probably should have done as well is put these cables in before I actually went ahead and, you know, put the power supply in. I thought I was going to have a bit more clearance, but I just don't, I don't think. Yep, we're taking the power supply back out. Literally exactly what I just said 2 seconds ago. Like, you know, do all the cabling on these smaller PCs. Yeah, you got to get it all done before you put everything in. Luckily, it doesn't take too long though. Lucky it's so small, truly. Wait, we're talking about the computer, right? Are we talking about something else? Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty, let's mount this rude boy one more time. Hopefully the last time. Alrighty. Okay, now I think we can do the I/O panel and then the rear fan and then the motherboard, and then we'll be almost done. We're not far away. How long have we been streaming for? It's been an hour. And honestly, I've been chit-chatting a lot as well. So an hour is pretty good. Pretty good. I think my last stream was like an hour to build that PC. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with an hour. Alrighty, rear fan, rear fan, rear fan. And then we've got the most exciting unboxing, the GPU. Ugh. I don't want to show you guys my workstation, but it's a bit messy right now. So many cables, so many fans, so many screws. Oh, might go to the bathroom after I've done this fan. Relieve myself. Wow, we got 7 people watching, it says. That's crazy. How you guys going? You enjoying the stream, the vibes? You got the footy on in the background? I know I would. I'm an AFL supporter. I go for the Brisbane Lions, if you guys didn't know that. And we won the premiership last year, and I reckon we have a pretty good chance of maybe going back to back. But we shall see, hey? I don't want to get too excited too soon. But that would be nice. I think we'll do something like that. Yeah, okay. Let's get this rude boy mounted. Anyone else here an AFL fan, or is it just me? Hopefully no one's a Sydney fan or a Collingwood fan. That would be deeply upsetting. Because those teams suck. I'm not a huge fan of those teams. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. All right, that one is done. Time to have a finish up and then get a refreshment and go and relieve myself. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and get myself another brewski. So I'll be back in just a minute. Sorry, I just literally went to the bathroom and I muted my microphone because I don't think you want to hear that, right? And I've just gotten a new beer and I'm back into it. So just to catch you up, Aziko, this is the little mini ITX PC that we're building. We've got an SFX power supply. We've got two 120mm fans. We've got a motherboard with a CPU cooler, and we're about to go ahead and mount it, and then GPU, tidy up some cables, and we should be rocking and rolling in about half an hour, I reckon. So this is our little baby, our little ITX motherboard with our 16 gigs of DDR5, 6,000 megahertz, CPU cooler from Deepcool, cases from Deepcool, a terabyte of SSD storage. We've got front panel USB-C, rear USB-C, two USB 3s, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth on board. It is honestly like such a good little budget home theater ITX gaming PC, LAN party PC. We spent about $1,350 all up. So, you know, pretty good value for money. So let's just go ahead and drop this in. And we'll pray that everything just falls into place. Oh, like a glove. That couldn't have gone any better. Honestly, that is too good. I'll put this screw in and then I'll do the other three and then I'll show you guys how it all lined up. But that is absolutely perfect. Oh my God, I'm so happy. That was very, very satisfying. Very satisfying. Here's a hot tip if you build computers. Get yourself either an LTT screwdriver, because honestly they are very good and I did pay for it and it wasn't sent over to me or anything like that, or get yourself a screwdriver with a very good magnetic tip, because it just makes life so much easier. Like it's quite hard to explain how much easier a good magnetic tip screwdriver just makes putting everything in one time. It just such a good screwdriver. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do some of the wiring up. So this is how we're looking. Rear fan, cooler, power supply, a big void here, so the air is going to get pulled in from the front, go through the cooler, out the back. Graphic card sits down here. Some of the heat that is, you know, emitting from the graphic card is also going to get dealt with by these two 120mm fans. So heaps of room for cable management because you've got an SFX power supply, so that part's really nice. So mate, we are well ahead of schedule actually. Alrighty, so let's do the USB 3 header, which is honestly always the biggest pain in my opinion. Okay, that's that one done. Then we'll do the USB 3.2 Gen 2 header, or Gen 1 header I think it is. Done and done. Now this one here I think is HD audio for the headphone microphone jack in the back. That's correct. It's very hard to show you these ones, so I won't bother. Alrighty, and then this one is the front panel I/O. Oh, we're so close. So close. That one goes up there. Okay, no problem. Bit of a challenge is actually a nice thing to have. This one's a little bit tougher to get to. Come on. I think we're good. I think we're good. The mic's a little close. Sorry, it was just like rubbing on my neck and stuff. Is that better now? I can turn the mic down a little bit. Maybe I should do that. There we go. Just turn down the mic just a touch. Yeah. I was leaning. What happens is this mic, because the mic, like the little microphone's right there, and if I've got my neck over it, it gets a bit funny, so just got to deal with it, I guess. Alrighty, so now let's do the motherboard connector. Okay, motherboard connector done. This one's going to be a little bit hard to route, but we'll try our best. Something like that. I'm going to, by the way, do a full video on YouTube about this PC build as well. So if you guys want to see like a full review video kind of situation, once it's all polished and do all the benchmarks and all that kind of stuff, I'll definitely be doing that. So just giving you guys another opportunity to sort of check it out, you know. Did I possibly miss a plug? Oh, that was so lucky. Okay, it's stuffed in there. God, even though it's small, like, I wish it was just a bit smaller. Alrighty, so now we'll do the power supply, sorry, the CPU header. Yeah, okay, no worries, Sean. Easy as, Sean. Tell you what, you really, like, I really respect people who do small form factor builds like really well, because they are not easy. Not easy. Like, it's so easy to damage something. It's so easy to, like, you know, try and route something just a little bit too tight and then you break it. Ugh. Like, look at my face right now. Look at the face that I'm pulling trying to do this. Come on, go in. Play ball. Has anyone checked out a guy on YouTube called Optimum Hardware? He does like sick cinematography and PC builds and sim racing and all that kind of shit. He's friggin' awesome. Very, very talented individual. Go in. This one's being a bit of a pain in the ass. I won't lie. Wait, am I doing the wrong connector? Oh my god, I'm doing the wrong connector. I'm an idiot. I thought I was plugging in the CPU and I was trying to plug in the GPU to the CPU. That would have been a problem. Alrighty, so CPU is now plugged in. Not long to go and we'll have the GPU done as well. And then we'll have to zip tie and do all the cable tidying. I won't do the cable tidying tonight, I'll probably do it tomorrow or something like that. Okay. Now we've just got to do the fans and the RGB. My god. Don't worry, we're close, guys. We are very close. Not too long now. Thank you for hanging out. Dun, 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 dun. It's all going to be worth it, providing it turns on and works the first time. Oh my god, there's so many cables now. Where is the RGB header? Come on, Sean. know all that stuff I said about cabling before? Well, here we are. Okay, come on. This one's gonna be tough. Wish you guys could see exactly what I'm seeing. Let me just lower this table a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to do this with this mic. Let me just take the mic off for a sec. Need a torch as well. Come on. Oh, I think I got it. I think we're on. I think we've hooked in. We've hooked into the system. Oh my god, there's so many cables. How am I going to cable manage all this? Oh, God help me. God help me. God can't help me. It's all me. You're alone, Sean. Not even God can help me. Alright. Just gotta get creative with some of the channeling. I think we should be fine though, honestly. Probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. Be fair with you. Like, as long as when it turns on, none of the fans are obstructed or get caught on anything, I think we'll be fine. You know? Alright, I think it's time for GPU. I think it is, and we're just gonna have to wing it. Whew, getting hot. This is the current rat's nest that we're dealing with. It's not too bad. It's just this area here. I've just got to tidy it up a little bit. GPU's gonna go in, and hey, we should be cooking. I'm wondering whether or not I take off this bracket, because I think this bracket's going to help me put the GPU in a little bit easier. Smaller hands for sure. Alright, so we're going to take off that little bracket, and that will definitely give us way more clearance. So, okay, that was a good move. Good job, Sean. That was a good move. There we go. Okay, graphic card time. Ooh, camera's a bit low, I know. So here's the GPU we're using. It is the Maxun, or let me go this other side maybe. How's that? Let me just slide that over. This is the Maxun Intel Arc B580, and I chose this one specifically because I was hoping that this little Intel Arc light didn't light up. The one that you've got, Corey, in yours, which is the Intel OG one, like the Founders Edition. Unfortunately, I tried looking it up, and you cannot turn off that LED light on the Intel Arc logo, and I'm sure that's like an Intel branding thing, that, like, you know, it's intentional that you can't turn it off. It's just super bright. Like, I was gonna suggest, like, on the phone, like, maybe put some, like, put some, like, what's it called, tape over the Intel Arc logo, because it's super bright. Alrighty, GPU time. I actually like this, hey. It's a simple plastic shroud, nothing too crazy. Got some fans. Don't need a lot of cooling for this. Got a bit of plastic here, which would peel off in a second. Let's see if we can get it off the shroud. Peel that off. Ugh. Intel Arc. See, I think this is just a bit of like a sticker. Not even a sticker, it's just like printed onto the plastic. So it shouldn't hopefully glow up and be super bright. We've got a couple DPs and a HDMI, so 3 DPs and a HDMI, dual slot card. That's the back of it. Little red accent on the back, and it's all just matte plastic. But I like it. Let's go ahead and pop it in. Before I do that, I need to take out those rear brackets. Alrighty, graphic card is basically in. Whoops, never mind. I think we're in. I hope we're in. Cool, one screw in, put another in, and we are like 90% done. Oof, alrighty. Just gonna grab the old torch on the phone. Just double check it's all sitting all the way in. Yeah, I think we are looking pretty good. Pretty good. We'll go ahead and we'll put this bracket back on. All these cables will go that way and then around and down. Yep, cool. This will go through here. I'm just talking to myself at this point. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Whew, it's been a bit of a mission, this one. All right, so GPU is down the bottom there. Cables I need to obviously tidy up. Fans are there. And I think we're done. Everything's connected, everything's plugged in. So like there's no reason why this shouldn't boot up on the first go. That's the idea anyway. Let's just go ahead and see if we can tidy up some of it a little bit now. But I think it's going to require a lot more time and effort, to be honest with you. Let's just go ahead and stuff all that down there for the moment. Oh, it's not good, I know. I'm going to have to fix this up a lot. But like, not the worst. Not the worst. As long as all the fans, like I said, are unobstructed, and we've got room for things to spin and move and air can get through pretty much without too much resistance, then that's a win, you know? Ugh. Flat cables definitely help. Thin RAM definitely helps. I just don't know what anyone else would do in this situation. How do you move that cable? It's a big chunky one. Very difficult to get out of the way. Ugh. All right. I think we should turn it on. What do you guys think? Time to boot it up. Oh my God, I just realized I forgot one bloody connector. And it's probably the hardest one to get to. Are you serious, Sean? Oh, no way. Yep, there's one connector that I forgot to do, which is for the fans, to make them spin. I need to have the fans plugged in. Give me 1 second, everybody. How do I get this cable to where it needs to go without causing a drama? Can I do it the first go? Okay, I've got one. Now where's the connection for the other one? Fuck. I don't know if I can swear on stream, but here we are. What do they daisy chain? Wouldn't that be nice? They do not daisy chain. The RGB daisy chains, but the fan does not daisy chain. Okay, where's the other one? I think on the back of the box it says. Might be a bit hard. Oh, it's just there. Okay, I can see it. I see ya. Okay, we should be able to do that one. If this all does work first go, it will be a bit of a miracle. I won't lie. Just need to get my phone in there, get a bit of light happening. In hindsight, if I was to do this all again, I probably wouldn't have put the cooler on when I did. I probably would have waited towards the end to do the cooler. Just got to lower this. Whew, getting sweaty. There we go. She's in. We are in. We are done. Finally. Woo. I'm sweating. You're sweating. Kidding. Time for a drink. Now I just gotta cross my fingers it all works. Oh yeah. So we've got an actual, this is the cable I'm talking about for the power supply. It comes out of the back here, goes through a little notch here so you can put the roof on, and then plugs in like so. So now that's in, we'll plug in our DisplayPort video connection, and we should be cooking with gas. We shall see though, hey? And I think I've actually even got a special surprise. I think we've got it set up in a way where I should be able to screen share at the same time. Video capture, add existing, PC capture, boom. So this should give us the BIOS screen when we turn it on. Hopefully. Wow. What a mission. Let me lower this one. We'll go a bit lower on this one too. Get the angles. You can see my main PC over in the background there, doing all the hard work, all the streaming heavy lifting, all the mess. But here we go. Alrighty, so should we turn it on? I think we should, right? Whew, what an epic, bit of a battle, to be honest with you. Bit of a battle. I just freaked out. I thought my stream just died. Were you able to sell the last build? Yes, I saw it to Corey, who's in the chat. Alrighty, let's turn it on. Let's mute the music. If I can do that. No, how do I do that? I've got to do it in the browser. That's right. Oh, music's off. Build the suspense. Fingers crossed this works, everybody. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey! Hey! She's working. I've not got any RGB yet. That you'll make. Hey, we've got RGB. Happy days. Let's go. I'm not sure if we'll get a video output because I'm going into a capture card, which is why there's a black screen in the bottom corner there. So not sure if that's going to work, but I'll give it a chance. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Normally it takes a second to do like the RAM training and like go through all the BIOS checks and everything else. I'm hoping that's all it is. But at least it turns on. That's the main thing. GPU is spinning, which is a good sign. I'm not getting anything yet. Oh, there we go. We've got a BIOS. We have a BIOS, everybody. Holy moly. I did not think that would work. Woo! There we go. There we go. New CPU installed. Look at me. I've even got the BIOS for you guys. 5 stars. Come on, chuck us a like. Give me a bit more. Get a bit more hyped. Have you ever seen a live stream where someone's even capturing the BIOS for you? Come on. Come on. I'm so pumped. Yes. I'm actually really pumped. Because now I should literally be able to install Windows and you guys can see the whole process. So let's give it a shot, hey? Let's give it a shot. Oh, we got our handy dandy USB drives that I prepared earlier. All the sweat that I was sweating have just, like, all the sweat's gone. All right, so we'll do the BIOS update first, and then we'll do Windows. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make this a bit bigger so you can maybe see it. Okay, new CPU installed. Press yes to reset. Yes. Give it a second. It should reboot. This is a AMD Ryzen 8500G. BIOS has been reset. Awesome. That's what we want. Cool. So we're in the BIOS. Happy days. Happy days. We can even go ahead and tune things up and enable profiles and all that kind of stuff. But before we do that, we will update the BIOS. So let's do QFlash. Let's go ahead and update from a USB drive that we have. So we've got to click down here. This is the latest BIOS. What version are we on now? We're on F31 and we're going to F33B, which is the latest version. Bit of trivia. Does anyone know what BIOS stands for? Anybody know? Anybody in the chat? Basic input output system. There we go. Correct. You get 10 Sean Freedom dollars. Yeah, you're correct. So updating the BIOS is really important because you want to I think Tripper, I think we know each other, right? I think we know each other. I think updating the BIOS is like one of the first things you should do before you install Windows and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of the time you get actual performance improvements. You get better stability. You can sometimes unlock new features or enable new features that weren't maybe once available to you, depending on the CPU you have. So when you build a computer and you get to the BIOS, the first thing you should do is do your BIOS updates. But in terms of I did not think, because we hadn't had yet technically like a driver running the GPU, like it's just running on the onboard, that the capture card, HDMI output little configuration that I've done, didn't think it'd work. I'm going to put Windows 11 Pro on it. Yeah. I normally, with all these PCs that I build, I put Windows 11 Pro, and you can get a Windows key. I think I buy mine from, where do I buy them from? Electronic. Oh, there's a store that I buy them from, like a digital marketplace, and I've never had an issue. And I've probably bought like 20 CD keys. Electronic first. Yeah, electronic first. I've bought like at least a dozen CD keys or Windows CD keys. Activation keys, not CD keys. Come on, Sean. I've bought a ton from them, and I'm sure they're like a one-time use thing. Like you can't use them over and over and over again if you change the motherboard or if you change, certain parts of the system. But they've been pretty reliable for me. And I think I paid like $10 or $15. I think $15 is pretty high. I normally pay like $8 or $12 Australian dollars for like a Windows key, which is so cheap compared to like, buying a legit version. So, is it discounted? Yeah, I think they've always got some sort of like discount, like just to try and reel people in. I think sometimes like I think the full price is like $18 or $20, and then they apply like a 30%, 40% discount. It probably honestly costs them like $2, not even $2. So for them, $12, it's like easy money. If you go onto YouTube and you watch videos on like digital CD key marketplace kind of stuff, there's people that talk about it quite a bit. You want to say on Windows 10, do you? I mean, Windows 10 is fine, but I believe eventually certain games won't work, possibly. So depending on the games that you're playing, you might be fine, but just saying. Oh man, I'm really happy that this is all working. Give it a second for the BIOS to reboot, for the PC to reboot. What I'll do, I'm going to just quickly create a new screen. Just creating a new scene. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Yep, you can. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and enable a few things. So we want to enable resize bar for sure. We want to go ahead and enable Expo XMP1 so we can get the full 6,000 megahertz speed. And that's pretty much all I'll do for now. Let me just go ahead and save and exit. So we should be going from 4,800 to 6,000. 6,000. Do 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. Might get the music back just for a bit of background noise. Sorry, the black screen is because it's rebooting. It will come back eventually. I'm wondering whether or not it did not like the BIOS change that I just made to make the RAM go faster. Awkward. Sometimes that happens. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and have a look at the BIOS. Yeah, I didn't like that XMP profile, so let's go ahead and change it to, where's the advanced mode up here? And we'll go down. Oh, it is running at 6,000. Okay. Just didn't like it for some reason. I mean, sorry, it did like it, but then it just wouldn't reboot. No worries. So now what we'll do is we'll put in our, this is my little Windows 11 key, or Windows 11 bootable USB drive, and we'll go ahead and install Windows and do all the drivers. So yeah, the fun part. All right, let's do a reboot. And is it F12, F8, or F2 to boot from a USB? Ooh, I think it's F8 on Gigabyte. This is a Gigabyte motherboard, so I think it's F8. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's nothing installed, so it should just default to the USB. Is it F11 or is it F12? I think it was F12. Oh, listen, I think it's figuring it out anyway. Cool. English, United States. Yeah, sure. Let's just do that. Boom. Keyboard, we'll make that US. Boom. Install Windows 11. I agree. Boom. Skip. I don't have a key. Not right now, anyway. We'll do 11 Pro. Agree, accept. You know, I've watched a lot of live streams. I don't think I've ever seen a live stream where someone's captured the BIOS or Windows installation part. Unallocated space, 900 gig. Might be a bit hard to see. I'll try and make that a bit bigger. It's only like a 720p capture card, which is probably why it's a bit blurry. Sorry. It's just one that I had laying around. Now we just wait, basically. Install. There we go. She's installing. She's off and racing. Off and racing. And because this is installing off a USB 3 drive, it's usually pretty quick. Doesn't usually take too long at all. %complete. And then we'll do the drivers. I've got nowhere to be, honestly. After this is done though, I'll probably, I don't know, maybe install Steam, do a quick little benchmark of a game, maybe do 3D Mark or something and see how it performs, and then call it a night. How long have we been streaming for? 2 hours now. And I worked 9 to 5. And I worked last night pretty late. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're going down. Ooh. I've got a little stool I can sit on. Ugh, take the weight off my feet. Ugh. Oh. Yes, I've got a trampoline behind me. Well, you know what? I'm pretty happy with how this all turned out. I was expecting a lot worse, and Actually, I don't know why I was expecting a lot worse. Like, I'm good at my job. I know what I'm doing. It went exactly according to plan. Oh dear. I have definitely earned those beers though, for sure. But like, isn't it a cute little computer? Heaps of airflow. Like once I put the paddles on, all the air that's going to go through this thing. It's so cute and small with the handle as well. Like cable management, not that much to do really. And the best part is that when you turn off the lights for the fans, there's no light on the GPU, so this will be completely like pitch black. So it's like a full sleeper build. But then what I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna set these two fans up at the front and back to basically just be like a set color, like maybe the deep cool color. Like there's a little light here on the front for the power button. Maybe I'll make it the same color as that. Or maybe I'll just make it like a white or like an orange or a blue. I mean, these fans are quite nice with the, you know, the way that the RGB is kind of diffused through the blades, but I prefer a static color if I'm being honest. Or maybe like two colors and like blend it like purple, blue or something like that. But yeah, maybe just for now though, I'll just set it to the same as the power button. Whew. Yeah, matching cyan, 100%. Alrighty, so let's go back to the BIOS here and let's just quickly go through the setup. 1 minute, let me get the right mouse for the right job. Fit the screen, all right. Don't have internet. I've already kind of prepared this USB, so it's not gonna prompt me to do all the different things. It's already got a profile on it and everything, so it skips a lot of steps. If you haven't heard of a program called Rufus, it's really, really good. You can create bootable USB drives, and like for Windows, you can do some little modifications to the Windows installation, so that way, you know, you don't have to sign in with a online account. You can skip all the privacy questions. You can set your region and all that kind of stuff. It's very useful. Makes installing Windows a very quick and easy process. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks for hanging out though, everyone. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Aziko. Thanks, Tripper. Trilla. Sky, I don't know if you're still there. Fighter, how you doing, Fighter? Awesome dude. Whippy Wop. Thanks, everybody. And yes, the matching cyan color would look pretty sick. Alrighty, so Windows is done. So what we can do now, let's just go back to this BIOS. We can open up this USB drive. If we go into here, we should see a folder called drivers. We'll copy that all to our downloads folder. And then we'll install these drivers real quick. Shouldn't take too long. We'll do maybe the RGB first, because that way you guys can see what the fans look like and stuff. But yeah, reading from the USB drive, 100 megabytes a second. And then it should slow down right at the end, I reckon. It's normally what happens. Oh no, sick. Awesome. So now we'll do Gigabyte Control Center. And we can eject the USB drive. Boom, boom. These are pretty big programs. It takes a few seconds. And this will be good because it will also show us the temperatures. Oh, what does that say? File is corrupt? Excuse me? Try one more time. That's weird. Oh. Okay, I might have to re-download it. Let's just do some of the other drivers, make sure they work. So LAN, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. While that's happening, let me just go ahead and download that Gigabyte control center thing again. Do. Pardon me. Geez, why is the LAN driver taking so long? It's unusual. Can we do two at the same time? Let's try. What else can we do? Can we do Bluetooth? Let's try that one too. LAN driver finally finished. Chipset, let's do chipset. Close that one. Boom, 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 boom. The way that you can check if your drivers are working or if they're installing is if you can go to Device Manager. Probably haven't typed it in properly. DEV, Device Manager. And you can see all the different things. File is corrupt. Maybe did I eject that USB properly? Weird. Thoughts on the new Cardi album? Like Playboy Cardi? I haven't listened to it. Sorry. But all these ones with yellow, these are ones that are all missing the driver. And even the audio, it's like weirdly corrupt. Strange. Boom, 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 boom. Missing out. I don't think I've ever really liked Playboy Cardi. Sorry, not for me. The new Doechii album's really good though. If you haven't checked that out, you should go and check that out. Boom, 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 boom. How's these drivers going? Taking their time? Yep. All right. Let's try this gigabyte application again. See if it works. It's all still happening. All right, I was just wondering if like maybe my computer's frozen. But what would, no, Sean, shut up. That makes no sense. Oh dear. File is corrupt. That is so weird. I've never seen that. I'm gonna go ahead do some of these other drivers and see if that helps. So what are we missing? Audio. Audio and GPU. Okay, let's just do the GPU because that's a pretty big file. The Intel GPU drivers genuinely take a long time, in my experience. $6,000 mega transfers, 6 cores, 12 threads. Does it say corrupt again? Weird. There's like something funky with the files from this USB drive. Did I not eject it? I swear I ejected everything properly. That is so bizarre. Okay. Let me just do a quick little reboot just to make sure. That's so bizarre. I'm gonna be annoyed if I have to download everything again. Yes, my Wi-Fi is called Hogwarts. Let me just download everything from the internet directly to this computer. Let me just whack on the antennas. Alrighty, let's go ahead. GGC, which stands for gigabyte. Oh, GCC, sorry, I should say. Gigabyte Control Center. It should come up. There we go. I just want to show you guys the RGB, that's all. Accept, download. Give it a chance. Shouldn't take too long. Come on. It's almost done. 20 seconds. I know, super exciting stuff watching me download and install files. Super exciting. Open folder. We'll try this one. Hopefully, you don't have any issues. We'll do the Intel Arc driver. Intel Arc driver. Boom. Intel Arc, here we go. Okay, it looks like the Gigabyte software is now installing properly, which is good. Hello, here I am. Just chuck myself down in the corner here, hey? Boom, 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 boom. 3 minutes for the graphics. Here we go. Now we're cooking. We're back. I think Windows is trying to download a bunch of stuff too, probably. RGB Fusion. Here we go. Let's turn that one to static. Oh, let's do the cyan. There we go. Let me turn off some lights. Ugh. What do we think, everyone? Looks pretty sick, if you don't mind me saying. I really like it. I really like it. Oh, looks so good. I'll turn off some more lights. And maybe this one as well. There we go. She's pretty tidy. Perfect color combo. Oh man, I'm super happy with how this has turned out. Super happy. And you know what as well? Like, it's not even that loud. Like, these fans are actually pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. I love this texture on the back as well with the heatsink. I think that shows up really nice. Oofed. Very happy. Very, very happy. Let's see if those GPU drivers are done. Boom, 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 boom. Camera's having a hard time right now with the lights. Let's just turn this one back on maybe. Oosh. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Almost done. There's a whole bunch of drivers that we can run, and we can do most of the drivers from the control center as well, which is really nice. Does it say corrupt again? Check some error in graphics. I wonder it's because I'm running the capture card. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to leave it there. I'm pretty tired, I'm pretty done. Been streaming for like 2.5 hours building this thing. Guys, I'm gonna get out of here, hey. I'm gonna let you all go to enjoy the rest of your evenings. I'm gonna sit down on the couch and have a beer myself, another one. It's been a big week. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Corey, Tripper, VC, nice to meet you, Azidko. Don't know when the next stream will be. Maybe next month, maybe end of April. Maybe this time next month we'll do another one. I don't know, we'll see how we go. But yeah, thanks to everyone for jumping in. Corey, appreciate the support, mate. And I'll see you guys sometime soon. And you can catch me on Discord, and you can catch me on Instagram sometimes, and you know where to find me. So check out the TikToks and Instagrams when they all come out. Chuck a like and all that shit. And and when the full video comes out, you'll see all the benchmarks and thermals and temperatures, and a system that is cable tidied and cable managed and looks a lot more tidy and everything else. So thanks, Corey, mate. Have a good night, mate. Hope your family's well. Hope your kids well. Hope your missus is well. Hope the car's good. Hope the job's good. And hope hope you enjoy your weekend, mate. So take it easy, be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys in the next stream, whenever the fuck that is. Alrighty, peace. See you guys. Bye.